Hi everybody, welcome back to Brelsford Family Homestead. I'm Darcy. I have some turkeys to deal with today, and so I thought I would bring you along to show you my process for that. I have 4 remaining turkeys of the 6 that we butchered recently. I'll put a video of that here if you're interested. And so now I need to take them apart into the various pieces, grind some, and package them up for later use. And I'll explain to you what I intend to use them for later. I'll also be putting all of the bones and things, feet, into a roaster pan to make bone broth. I won't take you through that whole process, but I do have a video on making bone broth from chicken that I will post up here for you if you are interested in that. So I'm gonna gather all of my supplies and get ready to go. I thought I would show you a few of my supplies up close first. Now, if you only have 1 turkey, you could use a stock pot or an instant pot. I do use that to make bone broth at times, but because I have 4 turkeys that I have the carcasses from, plus I have all of the feet that I'll be putting in there, I am going to use my roaster. I have 2 of these. I think it's 22 quart or something like that. So they're quite large, and if I need to use both, I will. But I have that out so that as I'm doing things, I can just put the bones directly in there. I do need to get the feet and some things out of the freezer from the butchering day. Now, I do not have a standalone grinder at this time. It is on my list. You know, I have a really long Amazon wish list with homesteading on things on it. Do you? But I do have a attachment for my KitchenAid. This does work well. It is slower, and it's not really meant for really large amounts of things. You don't want to burn out your KitchenAid, but this does do a good job for what I'm going to be using it for. Then I just have a few knives that I've sharpened. These are like Vitornix knives. I don't even know what this one is. Something I got off of Amazon one time. And then I have some just different baking sheets that I use to transfer the turkeys around, put the different pieces on, and that's pretty much it. Oh, and a big cutting board because these are turkeys. This one is kind of heavy, but I love it. It was a wedding gift from my sister-in-law, so I use this for a lot of different things, but always for piecing out poultry. So now I'm gonna go get our first turkey to start taking it apart. I got the first one. This was a broad-breasted bronze, and you'll see there's still some parts from the pin feathers and things. But also on broad-breasted bronze, you find that even after they are plucked, there's kind of like a gelatinous stuff in there from the feathers. And you have to almost squeeze it out. It's kind of gross to think. It's like popping his head, honestly. But it's one reason why we usually choose to keep the white broad-breasted turkeys whole, because they're so much easier to get clean and look presentable, especially when we are blessing somebody with a whole turkey. We don't want to have any things that might look questionable on there, and I'm going to be skinning this, so no big deal. So I'm going to get this onto my cutting board and then probably wash my hands so I can touch the camera. Probably gonna wash my hands a lot. But if you notice, to get it out, I use this because there's a lot of water that comes out, and it just reduces the amount all over the kitchen. So, how do I show you this? Unless I go wash my hands. Hold on. Got paper towels. Ew, I'm gonna. Hey, that worked. Good thing it has a handle back there. All right. Let's see. What do I want to take off first? I usually take the wings and the legs off of a chicken first, but the breast is the big thing, and I'm going to be grinding the rest, so maybe I'll just cut the skin around here. Can you see that? I'm going to separate this skin right here so I can pop these open. Then I can just take this skin here. It's really cold. And just slide my hand up through here to separate this, since I'm not taking the skin. You might need to use your knife right where that it's connected there with the legs. But you just pull, and that skin, that fascia just separates. And now we have this nice breast. I hope you guys can see good. So I'm going to just score this a little bit right down that breastbone down to the keel. And then I'm going to just start slowly keeping my knife up against the bone there so that I get as much meat as possible. There's like yeah, see that to, to separate that skin right there so you can get in there really good. There is the wishbone in there, so you'll have to go around that as well. I am making this boneless, skinless, so I'm not keeping any bone. Maybe if I come this way, will that make it easier for you to see? Dog's interested. Let me cut that away so you can see better. See the bone here. I did just leave a little bit there, but that's okay. There's the tenderloin. I don't know if you can see it right there is the little tendon that is in the top of the tenderloin. Cut that. See, that's what I'm talking about right there. All right. I need to come back over here for a good grip. You see my dog there? Yes, she's inside. And she's interested in what I'm doing, thinking it might give her a little piece or something. All right, there's the tenderloin and the breast. I am going to piece all of them out before I start grinding so I can just do each thing at once. Now I could go through here, and which I will, and pull out, well, you can't see that. Like, see, there's a big chunk of meat here. I'm gonna go after and take all of that off so that I can put that in the grind and utilize as much meat as possible. So now I'm gonna do the same thing on this side. Just following that bone down. You can't see that. I apologize for that. Guess I need one of the, what are they? GoPros or something I can like put on my head. See how that just comes out of there. These are so heavy that you can use the weight of the breast to your advantage to kind of pull it down. Now, I'm not an expert at doing this, but I do get the job done. So I'm always looking to improve my skills in this, but here we go. Another tenderloin and a nice big breast. Now for the legs, it helps to open it up like I did, so you can really see what you're doing. Put a slice in here. If you lift it up, it'll kind of open up, and I'm going to show you where to cut. You can put a right along the spine there. And then you're just in between. You're not cutting bone, you're just there at the joint. And then I'll get this skin and stuff off too. But it's, if you have ever done a chicken, basically it's the same thing. It's just on a much larger scale, so it can be a little bit more cumbersome, but then in some ways also easier. Sorry, I had a little trouble there finding, I didn't want to cut into that, so I had to find right between the joints there, the cartilage. So there's the wing. I will be skinning that and pulling the meat off of that too. But see this stuff here, I'll just go through and kind of carve this out of here and put it in the bowl to put in with what I will grind, because that's still really great meat. So I guess what I will do is when I'm all done, I'll show you what I have before I start the next phase. I removed this breast, no bones, just the tenderloins and the breast and the skin. And I think I might leave it this way if I want to just make a turkey breast. I don't know. What do you guys think? I have to go through and clean it up here for the skin. There's some pin feathers left. I think I will just leave it like this for right now. And I can always pull this skin off and separate them to two separate, or even leave it together with the skin off. We'll see. I have some more birds to do before I have to decide. So this is what is left. I do need to go through and cut off some of these chunks of meat. But I wanted to show you something just in case you haven't seen this before. I clearly missed this when I was eviscerating. This is not a kidney bean. This was a male, and this is, it's one of his testicles. So the reproductive organs are inside of a turkey, and just like chickens, there's actually no penetration when they breed. They just put the vents together and exchange. So anyway, thought that was interesting. Wanted to share it with you. I think I've cut off enough meat of this. This is what we're left with here. And then of course the neck. So I'm going to put these in the roaster. I'm not sure if I showed you these, but these are the poultry shears that I have. They're Tansung, if that's how you say it. They come apart for easy cleaning. It's very helpful, especially when you want to break open carcasses like that, and worth the money. They're not very expensive. I have more turkey to cut up, but I don't want it to sit outside of the refrigerator or cooler for too long. So I'm going to go ahead and pack up some of it. I have these gallon size, what do you call it? Vacuum seal bags. So I'm going to put these 2 boneless breasts in here. I will try also to fit this in there. And I will weigh and label all of these things before they actually go in the freezer. But I'll stick these in something and get them in the fridge to keep them cold. These gallon size ones are very handy for bigger birds like this for the pieces. And then I want to clean at least one of these, actually 2 of them up, to put in bags so they can be roasted by themselves for someone that I wanted to give some turkey to. And then also my daughter loves turkey and dumplings, and so I could just roast this and use it for her. Hopefully this fits in here good. Okay. Yep, there's just enough room to seal that. I think that will be a blessing to who I want to give some turkey to. Plus, it would be nice to make chicken and dumplings for my daughter. I thought I'd show you these before I put them in the fridge or freezer. This is the breast with no bone but skin on, and this was 7 pounds, 2 ounces, so that's big. These 2 breasts here without skin or bones was 4 pounds, 5 ounces, so a significantly smaller bird. Then the leg quarters were 3 pounds, 11 ounce, and 3 pounds, 12 ounces, so great amount of food to get in the freezer. I thought I would show you my least favorite part of a turkey to break down, and that is the drumstick. And we're not like huge fans of dark meat, so just cooking this up and eating it, we like the breast meat better. But there is a lot of little tendons, bones in here, and they can be hard to get out, so I thought I'd just show you how I do it. I may waste a little bit of meat, but you don't want those in there, especially if you're grinding it. Like you can, I don't know if you can see right here, it's more like cartilage. See that flat? You don't want that. You're not going to eat that, so I'll show you what I do. I first just start by shoving my knife in here and just cutting out chunks to get it off of the bone, and then I'll go through. So there's one right here, there's one inside there, and then there's this flat piece. All stuff we got to get out of there. But by me grinding up this turkey, I can utilize it much better, and we don't mind it when it's ground for the dishes that we do that it's dark meat. So I know there's people who like dark meat the best, but it's just not us. If you guys have suggestions on knife sharpeners or a place to learn more about sharpening knives, I would love it, because that is a skill that I feel like I need, and I don't have. The sharpener that I have, I mean, I guess it's okay. It's probably getting worn out, but I don't some of it could be my knife skills too, I'll give you that. But like these, everybody raves about these, and I do like it, but I feel like I have to sharpen them very often when it comes to breaking down chickens or turkeys. So here is one of those little pieces. So there is some more meat on that, but I'm just gonna leave it. This is going into the broth. All these little pieces will. And if you're not sure if you got them all, if you cut the chunk in half, you'll be able to feel and see and all of that. Which, since I'm using my KitchenAid meat grinder, I definitely do have to cut it into small pieces. This isn't one of the like bones, but it's not bones, but you can see, at least I think you can. This is hard, this is hard. Both of those need to come out of there. So you can either like slit just along there, or you can try just running your knife down it and you'll get pieces like that. And so that's what I have been doing, is just to get as much off of that as I can and not worrying about if I don't get all of the meat, because I'm still making bone broth, and what's left over from that will also feed some of the animals. So this one is flatter, so you can just, I don't eat fish, but I guess I would say kind of maybe like if you're skinning a fish or something. So that's off of there. There's a little bit more meat, but there's that hard piece and just some fascia. Okay, I'm gonna do the rest. I wanna go ahead and grind up some of the turkey because I need it for our dinner tonight. I've done everything with 2 turkeys, so I have 2 more to go, but we're just gonna pause. I've cleaned things up because people need to eat still. So I have all of the turkey here. I think it's small enough. This is a rather small hole, so I may have to stop and cut them a little bit. I've got the larger of the 2 blades on there, right? I had to double check. You want to run it through the large first and then a second time through the smaller one. Pretty self-explanatory. So where's this? It's on my side. I would expect to get a couple pounds of ground turkey just from this. When I do the next 2, there'll be some more, since I will be taking the meat off of the leg quarters and not keeping some back. You can see the size of this. It's good. I definitely like it with the smaller blade as well. It just gives a better texture, especially when I do this with chicken. If I want to do chicken burgers, which I've never done turkey burgers, maybe I should try that. If you have recipes, can you hear me? If you have recipes that you use turkey with, especially ground turkey, would you mind sharing them below? I'm looking for new ones and always love to add new things to the meal plan. Here is the texture of the first round. I'm going to go ahead and switch out to the smaller one and put this through again. Here is most of it. There was 6 pounds, 1 ounce. I separated 2 pounds that I'm going to be cooking up to have for our dinner and lunch tomorrow. I'm going to put this in the fridge, and then once I grind all the rest, I will package it up in 1 pound packages all at one time. So I'm going to get this stuff cleaned up and make dinner. I'll bring you back whenever I'm finished to give you the total amounts of everything that we got. I've got everything finished up except for the bone broth, which I will show that to you here. This is one of the roasters full. I'll keep this going for another day with the lid on. So that will go for another day. I will strain out everything that's in there and take the liquid and let it sit in the fridge at least overnight so that the fat can raise to the top. I'll take that off and I'll heat it back up and can it. I would expect to get about 6 gallons from all that I'm doing right now of bone broth. That alone is worth quite a bit of money. So I don't have all of the dollar amounts broken down for this because these are fair turkeys for my daughter. They were with the chicken sub, so not all of their feed was in one thing. And to be open, she also makes some money off of these through her market turkey project. So it would be worth it anyway for us. But this will be feeding another family and us. So all that I ground, I put them in packages like this. I like to do it kind of flat. They'll thaw out really fast. And then I decided to go ahead and grind up all the organs. And I had some other poultry organs in my freezer, so I took those out and ground them as well. So I have several packages like this of the organ meats, which I will feed to some of the omnivore animals around here. I think I showed you this. I did 2 of these leg quarters, one for us and one for another family. And then I packed all of the breasts up like this, except for one. One, I kept the 2 together and the skin on, but all of them are boneless. And I am going to attempt to make that turkey lunch meat at some point with all of these, not all at one time. I'll try some different things. So I did write down all of the weights of the things because I couldn't remember. So I'm going to read that to you. We did get these turkeys, I believe it was beginning of April, and then we butchered them here in the end of July. So we had one whole turkey that was 22 pounds and 3 ounces, one that was 21 pounds, 6 ounces. I did not weigh the other birds whole. I'm sorry about that. We had a total of 19 pounds and 4 ounces of turkey breast, 2 leg quarters for a total of 7 pounds, 7 ounces. And then I ground 13 pounds, 13 ounces of turkey that we cut off of the bone. So that was for the pieces and stuff were 40 pounds, 8 ounces. The 2 whole turkeys were a total of 43. So we're talking, over 80 pounds of meat for my family, plus the organ meat for animals, plus many gallons of broth. So really totally worth it, especially if you like turkey. Surprisingly enough, we don't love turkey, but my daughter loves showing them for 4-H, and so they are market turkeys and need to be butchered. So we are making use of them and finding new ways to enjoy them, plus blessing other people. But I hope this helped you to see just ways that you can utilize turkey, and that, broad-breasted are worth it. Usually I think you pay somewhere around $6 to $8 for a turkey poult. You could get a deal somewhere. Definitely check your farm stores sometimes. Online might be even more with shipping and stuff. You do need to feed them like a game bird turkey feed. But I find that it is worth it. They give a lot of meat. They're easy to take care of, and they're pretty fun too. They're, yes, they are a meat animal and you are going to butcher them, but they're kind of like a dog. They're kind of like the Labrador Retriever of poultry. So we do enjoy them. I hope you've enjoyed this video and it is helpful to you. Remember, if you have some turkey recipes that you really enjoy, please put them in the comments below so I can utilize this even more. Until next time, God bless.